All right, week 12, college football breakdown here. Really important battle in the Big Ten in the early window. We got Illinois traveling to Ann Arbor and taking on the Wolverines of Michigan. Seeing Michigan laying 17.5 and a pretty low total at 41. I think a lot of people right off the jump will say this will be a good week to fade Michigan. They got Ohio State next week. That's the bigger game. Maybe it's just me, but I don't really see it that way as much. If anything, I thought last week against Nebraska might have been the game that they just, really didn't care about, because really up until this week, Illinois was one of the better teams in the Big Ten. I mean, yes, they've lost their last two games back-to-back at home to Michigan State and Purdue, but this was a one-loss team for the majority of the season that really looked like they were going to run away with the Big Ten West. So I don't think in the minds of Michigan, this is an easy game whatsoever. And I will say, you just have to look back to last year. The week before they played Ohio State, Michigan won on the road at Maryland by like 40. So I know that's a common, theme I've heard around handicapping this game. Just because they got Ohio State next week doesn't mean that they're just going to lay down as 17.5-point favorites to Illinois. It is concerning, though. Seeing Illinois drop back-to-back games at home, I think Michigan State was more of a fluke because they did outgain the Spartans by over 100 yards, but they just didn't look good last week. Absolutely deserved to lose that game. So one other key note for the Illinois side, Chase Brown, their star running back, did go down last week. Not 100% if he's going to go. I have heard he's trending in the right direction. But even so, this is obviously a major step up in competition, going up against what is surely a top 10 defense in the country in Michigan. Tommy DeVito has been what I expected him to be, a major upgrade for Illinois in that quarterback room. I said that prior to the season. I'm not overly surprised that he's fit in well at Illinois. I will say he's not the best downfield thrower. They don't ask him to make a ton of high-level, explosive throws down the field. And, in this kind of matchup, that's just what you're going to need. I think Michigan will be able to at least contain Chase Brown. And, from there, I just don't see Tommy DeVito being able to hang toe-to-toe for 60 minutes against this Wolverines defense with his arm. We know Michigan's got a really good ground attack as well with Blake Corum, but also Donovan Edwards. This is a really good running game for the Wolverines. They're really stout up front. J.J. McCarthy hasn't had a great year. Don't get me wrong. He's done more than enough for Michigan to be 10-0 at this point, but wouldn't exactly say he's been a difference-making player this year. I'm interested to see what kind of effort we get out of this Illinois defense. I mean, for a long time, from a metric standpoint, this was the top defense in college football. You know how well they can play the run. They haven't allowed a ton of explosion within that secondary this year. So this is not exactly an easy matchup for Michigan. From where this side in total are at right now, I mean, this is projected to be a 28-13 kind of game with, some give and take in either direction. That's kind of exactly what I see. I think eventually with the explosion that Corum and Edwards have, they will be able to, break off some chunk runs. I think J.J. McCarthy can, hit for an explosive pass or two, but I don't really see Michigan putting up more than 31 points in this game. If anything, if you want to talk about a look-ahead spot, I don't think Michigan is going to want to extend this game unnecessarily. There's no reason to, make this a 16, 17, 18 possession game. Run the football, get stops, and just get out of Dodge. There's one misconception about Illinois, though. They're actually a pretty fast-paced team. When you think of Brett Bielema, when you think of these run-first teams, you don't necessarily think that they run with pace, but they brought in Barry Looney, the offensive coordinator from UTSA, over in the offseason. He's instilled pace within this offense. So this is probably going to be slightly higher possession game than people think. To be quite honest with you, I think there's better options on the board. I really get the appeal from both sides. If you really think that Michigan's looking ahead here, then take the points. I do see both arguments to either an over or an under here. So I don't have an official play on this game. I actually think this game plays out, pretty true to form. The holidays are here. Head over to proud90.com and check out their holiday selection. Still over a month till Christmas, so plenty of time to get yourself, a friend, a family member, some unique but very comfortable golf apparel. Weather's obviously getting colder too. Proud 90's got a great selection of hoodies and quarter zips as well. We're all doing a lot of Christmas shopping. Save yourself some money. Use code Fordham at checkout for 15% off your order. The rest of the information will be in the description below.